Imagine this. Tomorrow morning, you wake up. You check your phone. You have work. Your bills are paid. Your fridge has food. Your car is working. Everything feels normal. Then your car makes a strange noise. You pull over. You call a mechanic. A few hours later, you get the answer. It's going to cost about $2,000. You stare at your phone. $2,000. Not $20. Not $200. $2,000. And suddenly, a very simple question appears in your head. Can I actually afford this? Not. Can I buy it? Not. Can my credit card pay for it? The real question is, can I pay for this without destroying my next few months? Because there is a huge difference between being able to pay for something and being able to survive it. And this is where our story begins. Meet Daniel. Daniel is 29 years old. He lives in the United States. He has a full-time job. He gets paid every 2 weeks. His salary is not terrible. In fact, if you looked at his life from the outside, you might think he is doing pretty well. He has an apartment. He has a car. He has a phone. He eats out sometimes. He has a streaming subscription. Okay, maybe 3 streaming subscriptions. He tells himself he needs all 3. One is for movies, one is for sports, and the third one? He honestly forgot. But he is not careless. Daniel pays his bills. He goes to work. He tries to save money. He even has money sitting in his bank account. So Daniel feels safe. At least, he thinks he is safe. Every 2 weeks, his paycheck arrives. Let's say he brings home about $4,000 a month. That sounds pretty good for $1,000. But then life starts taking pieces of it. Rent, $1,500. Car payment, $450. Car insurance, $180. Phone, $80. Internet, $70. Groceries, $500. Gas, $200. Subscriptions, $60. Eating out, maybe another $200. And then there are all the small things. A new pair of shoes, a birthday gift, a random online order at 11:47 at night. You know the one, the thing you absolutely needed until it arrived. Then you looked at it and thought, why did I buy this? Daniel's money disappears slowly. Not all at once. That's the important part. Nothing feels dangerous. His rent doesn't suddenly take his whole paycheck. His car payment doesn't destroy him. His grocery bill doesn't look crazy. Everything is manageable. Together, though, they leave Daniel with very little room. Still, he feels okay, because every month ends. Another paycheck comes, and the cycle starts again. Paycheck, bills, spending. Paycheck, bills, spending. It feels normal. Millions of people live this way, and Daniel doesn't think much about it. Until one Tuesday morning, he is driving to work. Music is playing. Coffee is sitting in the cup holder. His day is normal. Then, bang, a warning light appears. Daniel looks at the dashboard. Please don't do this today. He pulls over. He turns the engine off. He waits. Maybe it will magically fix itself. It doesn't. Daniel takes the car to a mechanic. A few hours later, the mechanic gives him the number, $2,000. Daniel goes quiet. He opens his banking app. He has $2,700 in his checking account. For 1 second, he thinks, okay, I can pay it. And technically, he can, but then he remembers everything else. Rent is coming. His car payment is coming. His insurance is coming. His credit card bill is coming. Groceries, gas, utilities. And suddenly that $2,700 doesn't feel like $2,700. It feels like money that already belongs to 10 different people. Daniel can pay the $2,000. But if he does, he'll have about $700 left. And his next paycheck isn't for another week and a half. That's when Daniel learns something important. Money in your account isn't always money you can safely spend. Some of it already has a job. Some of it belongs to rent. Some belongs to food. Some belongs to the electric company. And some belongs to future Daniel. The guy who is always cleaning up after today's Daniel. Daniel looks at the repair bill again. $2,000. Then he looks at his credit card. And suddenly, the card looks very friendly. It feels like a way out. Fine, Daniel thinks. I'll just put it on the card. Problem solved. Or is it? Because the bill didn't disappear. Daniel simply moved the problem. Instead of paying $2,000 today, he has created a new bill for future Daniel. And future Daniel is already busy. He has rent to pay. He has groceries to buy. He has other bills. Now he also has a $2,000 car repair sitting on his credit card. And this is how financial problems can grow. Not with one huge mistake, but with a series of small decisions that make tomorrow harder. Daniel gets the car fixed. He drives home. Everything looks normal again, but something has changed. He starts looking at his money differently. For the first time, he asks himself, what would happen if something worse happened? The car repair was $2,000. What if the next problem is $3,000? What if his phone breaks? What if he needs an expensive medical treatment? What if his apartment needs a major repair? What if his car needs another repair 6 months from now? And then Daniel thinks about something even scarier. What if I lose my job? That question hits differently, because a $2,000 bill is one problem. A missing paycheck is a different kind of problem. Imagine Daniel gets an email on Monday morning. His company is cutting costs. His position is being removed. His final day is Friday. No dramatic movie music. No warning. Just an email. Daniel reads it twice. Then a third time. He closes his laptop. He sits there, and suddenly, his entire financial life changes. His rent didn't disappear. His car payment didn't disappear. His insurance didn't disappear. His phone bill didn't disappear. His grocery bill didn't disappear. The bills don't care that Daniel lost his job. They still arrive. Every month. Right on time. That's the strange thing about money. Your income can stop tomorrow. Your expenses usually don't. And now Daniel has two problems. He needs a new job, and he needs money while looking for one. This is where an emergency fund becomes important. But let's make this simple. An emergency fund is not some fancy investment. It is not a secret trick. It is simply money you keep for things that go wrong. A financial first aid kit. If you cut your finger, you want a first aid kit nearby. You don't want to start searching for one after you are already bleeding. Money works the same way. You don't build emergency savings because you expect something terrible to happen tomorrow. You build it because, something will eventually happen. The Federal Reserve's latest household survey gives us a useful picture. In 2025, 63% of adults said they could cover a surprise $400 expense using cash or its equivalent. That means a large group could not cover that expense in that way. And the same survey found that major vehicle repairs were the most common type of major unexpected expense reported. Think about that. We are not talking about buying a house. We're not talking about losing $1 million. We're talking about $400. A broken car, a repair, a medical bill. Something goes wrong, and suddenly money becomes the most important thing in the room. So Daniel decides to change his system. Not his entire life, just his system. He makes a simple rule. First, build a small emergency cushion before worrying about becoming rich. He wants to become harder to break. That is an important difference, because Daniel realizes something. He was thinking about money in the wrong order. He was thinking, how can I buy more? How can I invest more? How can I make more? But before all of that, there's another question. Can I survive a bad month? That's a much better question. Because imagine two people. Person A makes $5,000 a month. Person B makes $3,500. You might think person A is much safer. But now look closer. Person A spends $4,900 every month. Person B spends $2,700. Person A earns more, but person B has more breathing room. That breathing room matters, because money isn't only about how much comes in, it's also about how much pressure is waiting when it goes out. Daniel starts looking at his own spending, and he notices something funny. There are things he pays for that he barely remembers using. A subscription here, an app there, food delivery, extra shopping, random little purchases. None of them are destroying him. That's the trick. One $12 purchase doesn't look scary. One $20 purchase doesn't look scary. One $30 purchase doesn't look scary. But put hundreds of them together, and suddenly they have a name: your lifestyle. And that's only the beginning of Daniel's story, because building a small emergency fund is one thing. But what happens when life hits you with something much bigger? What happens when your savings gets tested? What happens when you lose your job? Your bills keep coming, and suddenly you have to make some very difficult choices? That's where Daniel's story gets even more interesting. This was only part 1. Part 2 is coming next. So if you want to see what happens when Daniel's financial safety net is truly tested, stay tuned. And if this video helped you look at your own money a little differently, you know what to do. Subscribe to Mint Lore, because we're just getting started.